Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sparkling Nail Studio with Sarah. I'm Sarah, obviously. Today I'm doing something this mani I've had planned for quite some time, probably since before Halloween, I'm guessing. But just a really pretty, fairly basic winter mani. And I think in my head I don't know, I was looking at my idea roll and there were some that I knew I wanted to do, so I just went ahead and I stick all my things as I plan them in an envelope. So I pulled the sets, put them in an envelope, and the idea was maybe to do it around Christmas, but I ended up sticking with Christmassy things. You know, the more full on Christmas versus I think my nails are on the long side, so I don't think I'm going to get one strip to go on both sides on any of these. Anyway, yeah, I focused on the ones that were like for sure 100% Christmas and saved some of the ones that were more like snowflakey winter for January. So here we are. I'm starting out here. This is Winter Opal. Very pretty. I almost feel like it's not wanting to adhere on those edges. I want this one to last a little longer, so I am just doing my nail strengthener on my nails. I happen to bring it down here. I'll show you guys. I've just been using the Color Street nail strengthener lately, and I've been liking it fine. I have been experimenting with Peely a bunch, so I've done a bunch of manis recently with Peely, and I feel like I'm starting to get a hang for it. But anyway, I just wanted these to just feel really secure and be able to enjoy them for a while. So went back to my standard of no Peely. And I did do, over the last 24 hours, I've really been trying to focus on getting some good hydration on my nails. I think as I've been experimenting with Peely, I've kind of been slacking on getting my jojoba oil on there. I try to do that at least twice a day. It has the smallest molecule to use as a cuticle oil, so I guess jojoba, or I think I do have some Color Street cuticle oil I've been using too, just because I have it. And I think jojoba would be my top pick, but I like the others well enough, just as long as I'm getting moisture on there is my main thing. But I think I've kind of been slacking on that. So yesterday I peeled my nails off because I had Peely on, and we were in the car for a decent, over an hour drive coming back from visiting family. And so I got some hydration on there, and then I tried to just continue that. Anytime I knew that I wasn't going to be washing my hands right away, I would try to get some good hydration on there. Whenever I'm home, I'm constantly washing my hands. Just with kids, there's always cleaning a face or changing a diaper or assisting with something gross, and then hands are back in the water, so it's hard to get that good hydration on there long enough that it's going to help. And I do, put on lotion throughout the day and all that good stuff, but I like to squeeze in that. So I did try to wash my hands extra well usually I just go with, if my hands have been washed recently, cool, good. Let's go ahead and do my nails with, whatever soap I was using is fine. But today I made sure to get a good wash with some dish soap just to make sure, hopefully, there aren't any oils still hiding out on my nails so that I can get these to stick. So hopefully that's not causing any problems. I think it's sticking okay now. And I'll do my flax heat bag after this to kind of get them to cement down. I think this mani will benefit from it. But it's going on fine, I think. It's going on pretty well. This is such a pretty one. One that I've had hanging around in my stash for a while. Too many nails and not enough fingernails and not enough time to do all the good things. I've been trying to do my nails more often so I can get through more of the fun things I want to wear. And also I think an added benefit of that, hopefully, is I'm going to learn which sets are really my favorites. And so I can be a little bit, because like right now it's like I have so many sets, but I also feel like I want to see all of them on my nails and enjoy them And so it's not like I can just pass them on because I want to see them all on my nails. But with time, yeah, I'm hoping to kind of know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of whatever, and so I'm only going to keep 1 or 2 sets of that kind of style of set or whatever. We'll see. So far, it's just a ballooning horde of sets. Like, I keep getting more, and they keep coming out with fun stuff. That's a problem too. As far as coming out with more. Anyway, I try not to repeat sets unless it's one I know I really like. I got a big old wrinkle there. Let's see if we can do anything about it. That's unfortunate. It kind of smoothed a little on both sides for whatever reason. I think it'll be fine. Oh yeah, you can't even really tell. I think it'll be fine. I am going to put something over top of this, so I think it really will not be noticeable. Try to clean up as I go. So I've been trying to, if I can get enough time. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit narrow for this nail, but I'm going to try to just kind of ease it to the edges. Yeah, not bad. I swear sometimes this middle finger, it feels way too small, and then other times it's like, oh, why do I feel like I need the biggest strips? Because that was not too bad. Okay, I do have a little bit of a gap right there. Darn. Not the worst, though. Anyway, I have been trying to I'll show you guys I can't ever remember what's what, so the strengthening nail serum and then the restorative nail and cuticle cream. So these say to apply on a bare nail, which Color Street got some flack, or at least among my nail friends. We kind of wondered about that when they first came out. It's like, okay, but your main thing is nail strips, so like I'm not just gonna leave I don't know. We don't those of us who are really addicted, we don't leave our nails naked for long. So, and I think they came out and said like, oh, we'll just apply it with your mani. But I feel like when I am using that, I kind of just focus on jojoba. But then if I do have a night between manis, I'll try to, when I'm pretty sure I'm in bed, not going to be up for anything again, I'll try to put those on to get some deep hydration. So we'll see how it helps. I think the biggest, so once I started getting really good about using my jojoba or just cuticle oil in general and keeping it really hydrated, my cuticles improved so much because a lot of the, just them showing up, at least it felt like for me. Because you know how when your cuticles are just like gross and you feel like you need to clean them up really well, and that kind of just went away. Like I didn't feel like I needed to be, I don't know if they just didn't like show up or maybe they were just easier to push back and stay out of the way when they're keeping hydrated, but I feel like they were kind of starting to get just like dry and messy. And so that's why I did a lot of hydration, and I did do some cuticle remover stuff on there too, even, which I haven't used forever. I was seeing that, sitting with my nail stuff, and I'm like, I never use that anymore. Should I keep hanging on to it? And I don't know, it felt good to do it, so I felt like there was some stuff to. So yeah, so I think hydration makes a big difference. And if you notice on I was like trying to memorize because it says on this one, it's best if you use it after this one, but it only says it on the box, not on, see, there's no instructions on the actual tubes. And I'm like, I don't want to keep the box. And I was like trying to memorize. And then I was like, oh, I should just that's what the number 1 and number 2 are on there. Use this one first, use this one second. Took me a few uses, like 3 before I was like, oh, I have a good idea. Let's just label it with a Sharpie. So that would be nice if they would just add that on the package, right? And maybe it doesn't matter that terribly much, but I figure I may as well use it to the best I could. I think I stuck this down a little crooked. So I'm getting excess over here, and it's not quite to the edge over there. Bar sad. I don't think it's worth trying to fill up. try though. Is there enough to lay this down? Just gonna go for it, except for I better make sure I get it over to this edge if I'm gonna do that, because that'd be awkward. Okay, let's get back to my, I do so much better on these sets that are a little harder to smooth. I do so much better with a cuticle pusher than my fingers. You can use your fingers and it's fine, but using a rubber cuticle pusher when I discovered that tool was just game changing, because some of the sets are fine. Like you can just slap it down and it's going to smooth right out, or at least hide any wrinkles. You're not even gonna be able to tell they're there. I still got wrinkles, but some of them are a little more delicate. Like, solids are a little trickier to apply. And anything shimmery like this. At least, even though this one is pretty, like, I feel like it's more shimmery, I feel like it's still hiding its reflective nature. I feel like it's still hiding imperfections pretty well. And I think I maybe should have stopped before applying this and do my second layer, because then I can save my index and my thumb to use as tools as I apply it, but we'll just use my thumbs as tools. Okay, I hope I didn't already wrinkle that to no end. Trying to do it with my fingers. Okay. Let's do a little more smoothing. Try to get to stick down on those edges. Okay, so what I am putting over the top is Over the Moon, which this is a set that I will use over and over again. It is one of my favorites. It's one that I find, like, I just see more manis and I'm like, oh, I love that. I just, the manis that you're scrolling and you see, and it's many times with this set. So, and I did a mani with it, but this was the main mani I wanted to do with it. So I should have saved just the right amount to do this mani with. So yeah, so this one will go there, and then these little ones for my pinkies. Yep. Since this was the priority mani, ideally I would have done it first, but I used it on a Christmas mani. So obviously I did that before this one. Anyway, so I pulled out like I was doing this mani and resealed those and only let myself use the other portion, which works out pretty good because now I'm going to perfectly use up the set and not reseal it again. Usually I am not the best planner about what strips I will need, but this one, maybe I've just used this set enough to know this is what I'm going to need. So I know sometimes this set isn't as popular because it's kind of a matte glitter, which I wouldn't think I would like. I don't like the matte look, like the matte topper. I'm just not a fan. It just reminds me of like a chalkboard. And like, we all know how it doesn't feel that great to touch a chalkboard. It just feels dry, and I'm sure it feels fine on, but I like the glossy look. But this matte glitter is just the perfect snow. And I think that's what makes it amazing. Because unless there's sun when it's snowing, your snow's not really sparkly, generally. Now that is pretty when the sun's out and it's just a nice light snow. I call it glittering. You guys, it's glittering outside. It just looks like little, beautiful little holographic glitters falling from the sky. It's gorgeous. And I know anyone who's been around snow has also seen, after a nice storm, and when snow hits the snow after it's already fallen, and it's just this gorgeous white glitterscape on the ground. But when it falls from the sky and glitters, then that's not as common. Usually it's all overcast. Okay. Yeah, so see, this is not anything super fancy today, but just something I thought was really simple and pretty. I've wanted to do for a while. I mean, honestly, I've probably had that inspo saved since last winter. And actually, I accidentally deleted off my phone. I was trying to find it again last night. I've been trying to clean out stuff off my phone. I think I accidentally deleted it, but it's fine because I remember. At least I think I do. It doesn't really matter if I don't, because this is what we're doing. Before doing YouTube, I would always just have, well, I wouldn't plan things as far out, I would say, because I would just have my whole stash right there, and I would pull up like my inspo pictures on my phone and look at them so it was an adjustment because I use my phone to record these, so I kind of make sure I have what I'm doing today. I think we're okay. It looked like I had pulled the winter opal off my nail or something near that edge. Anyway, I kind of have to know what I'm doing since my phone is my camera. Whoops. And I also keep all of my stash upstairs in my bedroom, because that way I can kind of plan manis while kids are around. But when I go to actually do them, I'm down in my craft room. And so I usually only have a few, kind of just what I'm using, and then maybe anything that I've used recently that I haven't put away yet, because I just kind of throw it all in my little basket bin organizer that I use to bring everything downstairs with. Anyway, so I kind of got to know what I'm doing since I don't have everything right here, which is good because I don't think and talk very well. Not my biggest strong suit. So if I'm talking to you guys and trying to, and making decisions is better for me off camera. Sometimes I'll do it on camera, but sometimes I spend forever rifling through the stash to find the perfect shade to go with whatever I'm planning on doing. If you're an addict, you know. If you're not yet, then you probably think I'm crazy right now. I still remember the days when my whole stash was this little stack that just fit in a little drawer in my living room. Everything I needed for my nails was all right there. It has expanded now. I guess I should be thinking about kind of stretching this to the edges. I think that's fine. So over the moon, it always goes really quickly because it's one of those that they made just slightly shorter. So you get all the glitter if you have shorter nails. So yeah, it's a set that I can just fly through really quick. I mean, although we saw with this mani, my nails are just slightly longer, so I'm not sharing any strips between nails. So my winter opal will also go quickly. That way, oh, let's see. Okay, just making sure. I was thinking I was on my index finger already. Oops. That one just wants to stick to me. There we go. I'll show you what I have left of my winter opal. Oh, I stuck it in there, but it's literally like, well, now you can't even see it. I was thinking usually I just set it on top of the plastic, but this is what I'll have left. The one little baby one, and then another. Okay, the 4 baby ones, and then 2 like index or pinky strips. Although this one I can also use on my pinky. So that'll be a mixed mani at some point. Or maybe I'll put it on my toes, because that's about enough to do my toes, depending, I think. Okay, cruising along, we're getting there. So we made it through our New Year's. We had family show up New Year's Eve. They didn't get here until later afternoon. My husband he's way into the pizzas. He made us really yummy pizza. We played a few games. It took us a while to get into the games. And then we did bubbly at midnight. All the kids were here going crazy. And they all stayed up till midnight. I don't know if that was the best choice, but they did fine. They were doing fine. I think if they were, started to get too exhausted, then we would have put them to sleep. So yeah, there's my irresponsible parenting for New Year's. They all stayed up and had bubbly with us. And then the next day, so my husband and his siblings, he's the oldest of 7, so big family. They have a D&D campaign, Dungeons and Dragons, that they've been playing since, I want to say they started like in 2022, and they just kind of, for an hour or so every week. Sometimes it gets canceled if people are sick or busy or whatnot, but they've been doing that, and they did their finale on New Year's Day. And so that took a few hours most of the day. And that day we had all of my sister's kids too. So we had 9 kids here between the ages of 1 and 8, I guess, is the oldest. Between the ages of 1 and 8. And they had a blast. They did really well. There was not too much drama, actually. They had a blast with each other. It was good. And since they were doing their D&D campaign, I did some, took care of some mail stuff. Got a bill ready to send, super exciting. And some fun mail too, got ready to send. And then I made some cards, because that's one of my other hobbies, is card making. And I do on Facebook, I do a card exchange, and we do 3 themed swaps per month. And so the cards I made were Winter Wonderland was the theme for this one. And I had fun embossing some glittery snowflakes for it, and got the cards all put together while they were playing. Oh, and I did a puzzle too that morning. It was only a 300 piece, and it was really easy. Like you could really, most of the pieces, you could kind of look at them and tell right where they went. So it was a quick one. Yeah, while they were doing that, I was just hanging out, helping with the kids where needed. And yeah, it's good. We survived it. It's a lot of prep to host that. Yeah, but it was fun. And I know I talked about in my other videos, we do our stockings on New Year's, and usually it's you open them on New Year's Day, but we realized that just is really tricky with this new tradition of doing games on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So we did those on New Year's Eve in the morning before all the family came, and it worked really well. Reporting back on that, because we were, not putting them together after being up late for the new year, and then we weren't worried about getting them open before, family woke up or arrived, the other kids, because they already did their stockings on Christmas. But it's still sad to, feel like someone else is getting gifts when you were not. That's no fun. So that worked out really well. The kids enjoyed what they got in them. I'm trying to think what the highlights were. Oh, it was all small stuff. A little bit of candy, some small toys, some toothpaste. I got them some. It came in a 2-pack with, one of them was unicorn toothpaste, and then the other one was dragon toothpaste. And both of my kids have since told me they don't like it. So it's okay. I have a third child who does not have opinions on toothpaste yet, so he can use them. I think they're just used to the toothpaste they usually get, which so far has usually just been what they give them out at the dentist. Especially my daughter, that's like the only tooth. If she has a different toothpaste, she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, okay. She likes just her one that she's used to. Yeah, we're nearing the end of our break. The kids are, it's their last weekend. You guys may not see this for a while. I'm filming this on January 3rd. You guys probably won't see this for a couple of weeks. Trying to kind of get a little bit ahead on videos. Yeah, so we're in our last weekend before the kids go back to school and real life begins again. And I feel like I'm just starting to enjoy the break. It was a little bit much at the beginning, because I think in my head I'm like, we have this big long break, and in my head I'm gonna do everything. We're gonna go and do fun stuff, but we're also gonna have lots of lazy days at home, and we're also gonna get lots of stuff done. And then, the holidays are still busy because you're doing all that celebrating the Christmas. And anyway, so this weekend I feel like we did all the holiday stuff, and now this weekend is kind of just like, let's get some stuff done and do it a little bit relaxed style too. It's crazy how the break always goes so quickly every year. And they got a nice long, like 2.5 week break this year. I feel like that's a longer one than usual. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it was, because they got out like the 22nd or something. No, it was before that. I feel like they got out earlier than that. And then to not go back to school until, because the way New Year's fell, there was no point going back to school on, what is it, like the second Friday? Hopefully I'm saying my dates right. Going back for one day, so they don't go back till the next week. So the extra weekend just makes it feel extra long. I'm very happy to report though, my local nail friend, we did an advent for each other, an advent calendar. And my buddy gifted me a set of Over the Moon. So this set, I only recently acquired it, probably in the fall time sometime. Maybe just to do this mani. I found it on D-Stash. But I just used it up so quick, so I was really excited when there happened to be a set of it in her advent for me. Okay, now we're gonna bling it out. I think this mani, we could do some of these bigger snowflakes potentially. That one's huge. Maybe not that big, but maybe. I think I'm gonna try not to think about these too much and just see if I can get them off of here without destroying them. And we finally got to sit down and finish Stranger Things. We've been rewatching it since like September or November. Because when I watched season 4, I was kind of sad because I couldn't remember any of their like relationships between each other, That one's kind of big for there. So let's just put it over here, maybe get a smaller one. Yeah, there's a lot I couldn't remember, and it was super good to rewatch all that. And then we got into season 4. Yes. No, yeah, season 4 over the break, and then into season 5. Season 5 was released, if you weren't watching along with it, was released in 3 parts. So they did like 4 episodes for Thanksgiving, and then 2 or 3 more on Christmas, and then the last season finale was 2 hours on New Year's Eve. And so obviously we had family here, so we didn't get to watch it right then. And we were we had 18 minutes of the episode before that to go. And so we, over the last couple of days, we finally finished it last night. We had to watch that season finale, took a couple of parts to get it watched, but I don't want to give any spoilers in case you're still watching it, but we very much enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good ending. And now that I've watched it, I can kind of read all the things that are coming up on my Facebook about, okay, what about this? What about this plot hole? And, kind of think about those things. Anyway, very good series. I feel like it was just well done. And I feel like it appeals to a lot of audiences because it's got a little bit of everything. Like it's got the love story, it's got the action, it's a ghost story. Well, not ghost story, but let's see. Make sure I've kind of got a pattern going. I'm going one down in this corner, one up in this corner. I've done that the whole way, so let's switch it up. Let's do this one maybe there. I like the shows that, my husband and I can watch together because it has, because there's like the girly shows that I watch by myself. And there's the super action-y shows that he tries to get me to watch with him, but then I usually just don't like my life. Action I find very dull. My brain just like tunes it out and I'm like, hey, what is going on right now? So Stranger Things was good because it had enough in there that you really cared about the characters. You had an extra snowflake on that one. And so it made the action more interesting. I guess like superhero origin story movies are good, right? Because you've got a little more plot to them. Okay, let's see if we could probably do another snowflake there. So we've only had snow once this winter so far. We've had a decent amount of rainy days, but it's just not been cold enough. It's pretty crazy. I think that's good. Okay, now the real challenge. Using my left hand to do these. Anyway, hopefully this will bring some snow. There is some snow in the forecast coming up this week, so we'll see. My aunt gave my daughter a really pretty, it's like sparkly gold yellow, kind of a dress up kind of dress. And I want to go do a photo shoot with her in the snow. Oh, these decals would be fun. These little swirly things would go really well with this mani too. But we're just slapping down snowflakes. I think I'm getting better at peeling these up without shredding them. The first few times I used these, it was, watch me shred this one. Or tear off the, oh, that's part of the swirls. Oh my gosh, guys. And I was trying to grab that one. No, that one's not part of the swirls, is it? I don't think that one is. Okay. This is hard doing my left hand. Maybe I'll have to take them off with my right and then switch it over. Oh my gosh, it came right off. That's annoying. Okay, there's our little one. Okay, we're back to trying with my left hand. Let's see if we can get it going. Just not quite as coordinated. My non-dominant. There we go. Let's grab this snowflake here. Let's trying to tear. Let's grab it from. There we go. That's kind of a large. Let's do it maybe here on a little bit larger of a finger. It's just kind of fun doing just doing these on every finger, because if I don't have to think too much about which one I peel up, because if it doesn't go where I was planning on it to go, I have plenty of nails where it will work. Ooh, that's going to be way over on the edge. That's fine. And no two snowflakes are the same, right? So it doesn't even matter if my nails are symmetrical or whatever. It's just a nice little purpley magic snowstorm on my fingers. Okay, another smallish one there. That's something else I love is the white snowflakes. I think if I ever did use up all these decals, I may get more. Because white snowflakes are just a good thing. You can do a lot of fun things with them. I think I'm getting a little better with my left hand as we go. Maybe I'll put the, I don't know how well you'll be able to see them, but maybe on this mat. So I think these, I'm assuming came with 6 sheets because that's what I have here. But see, these are more, I don't know, some cute little deer and antlers and arrows. They're not all snowflakes, but they're kind of like the wintry vibes. These ornaments will be fun to use. White is a fun decal to have around because Color Street, just the nature of using real polish, you can't use, or they can't, like the white overlays are trickier, right? They're not going to show up over the dark colors, whereas this is plastic. I don't know if they have any white overlays because it wouldn't show up very well. Having some nice plastic decals is good. Yeah, I can think of a lot of fun things to do over these. These would be fun. This mani is fun because it's like nice and delicate and kind of subtle, but it would also be fun to do it over, you know, a dark, like maybe a navy or a black or just something dark to have the snowflakes really pop. That's a nice big snowflake for my little pinky. There we go. Okay, this might be the last one. Okay. Hopefully I got snowflakes everywhere. Have a look at them. Oh, and I meant to bring down, I'll definitely finish these off with like a plumping top coat. Probably my nail friend Stacy's because it's my favorite. We'll give it just a really good, but I'm gonna do some flax heat on them too to kind of get everything to kind of shrinky dink wrap, kind of meld together on my nails, and hopefully I'll get some good wear out of this one. And I never know how much I love it until I wear it for a little bit. Sometimes I'm like, I love this, but yeah, I think this will be fun to wear. So Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I'll catch you guys out on the next one.